Hello fellow aviators, VREF Summer here. Welcome to this now Saturday morning stream. Quite early in the morning, about 1:30 a.m. where I am. But we had a tornado warning, caused a little bit of a delay for us, but glad to be back here ready to operate this Coastal Airways charter flight. This is a Major League Soccer charter for Inter Miami. It's a Major League Soccer franchise out of Miami. They depart out of Fort Lauderdale, and we already have everybody boarded. Aircraft is fully fueled. Met here at Sheltair in Fort Lauderdale, and I'll say it once again. You can see this is a beautiful aircraft just delivered this week to Coastal Airways. Yellowfin is the name of this particular bird. Without further ado, let's go ahead and let's hop on board and get our briefing done. It's late afternoon in the sim, so that will maybe we'll even get to see a sunset on the way in. I don't know, but it'll be fun to see. So once again, welcome on board. This is Coastal Airways Flight 5801. It's a charter for Inter Miami, which is David Beckham's Major League Soccer franchise. And before we get going, yeah, you can see this is kind of the coastal way with the charter bird. See these cool stickers we have here in the cockpit. I really like this one down here, the Yoda Fly You Must, and MD-83 crew, and there's another one over there. But yeah, if you're interested in Coastal Airways, I encourage you to check out the website, flycoastalairways.com. Lots of great info on there. Also, whenever we're have applications open, you can go ahead and send in your application. This is about as realistic a Part 121 simulation as you're going to find in the virtual airline world. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, please check us out. And the Flight Sim Broadcast Network is another great YouTube channel to check out if you want to know more about Coastal. Jason on there streams weekly, sometimes more than once a week, with Coastal content. So check it out. All right, for this flight, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and start our briefing. We've already got the aircraft fueled. Everybody's on board now. So let's go ahead and we pull up our release. If I can get it here, there we go. All right, let me pull it up on the might have to change the settings here because I don't think it's coming up. 1 minute. I'll get it to where y'all can see. I went to the wrong. There we go. Now it's working. All right, perfect. So here's the release for us today. We're going to do our quick briefing. First off, let's check out the weather. So in Fort Lauderdale now, got to redo the briefing because it's been over an hour since I had to leave. Thankfully, we didn't leave the ramp. Weren't burning any fuel in the APU, but it's still nice here in Fort Lauderdale. Winds out of the southeast, 10 miles, few at 3,200. 3016 on the altimeters now. It's all set across the, well, let me get it on the standby altimeter. 3016 is set across the board now. Up there in Cincinnati, we're going to Lunken Field, which is where they go, wow, it's pretty windy. 280, 17 gusts into 43 miles light rain, squall line there. There's a squall. So the storms are going through. Few 28, broken at 5,500, overcast 7,000. 2963 on the altimeter. So the altimeter has risen a little bit since we first attempted to do this briefing, where I just stopped due to a tornado warning. All right, forecast wise, looks like it's gonna be nicer. So gusty winds, 240, 15 gusts and 25, plus 6 miles, broken at 5, broken at 10,000. So we technically don't need the alternate anymore, but we are fueled up for it already. We're ready to go with it. So we have Indy as our alternate, and you can see all the weather looks good in Indianapolis. All right, let's check out our standard briefing really quickly. Convective SIGMETs, they're definitely moving to the east now. Looks like we should still be able to stay clear of them. We're going to go right over Knoxville, volunteer VOR, and then into Cincinnati. So it's going to be the descent where we're going to be dealing with those storms. Tops up to flight level 360. So we'll keep that in mind on the way up there. Graphical air mat wise, nothing until we get up into North Georgia, and we have a high air mat for moderate turbulence. Looks like between 180 and 450. So that's going to be on that part of our flight. Let's see if we got anything down low. Of course we do. Moderate 10,000 to the surface and 180 to the surface on our descent to Cincinnati. And then low level wind shear. Wouldn't be surprised if we have some of that, of course. Airspeed loss or gain of 20 knots or more. So it's going to be a bumpy flight for these soccer players. They might not be as used to that as the hockey guys, but I think they'll be all right. We get knocked around a little bit out there on the soccer field. Surface analysis, you can see we have a big low pressure system that's just pumping through the eastern United States right now. And that cold front is starting to make its way into Tennessee and Kentucky and the Ohio Valley. So a lot of PIREPs now up in Cincinnati. Looks like we had an A320 with a low level wind shear plus or minus 10 to 20 knots on final, moderate chop on final. And looks like a 767, moderate to severe turbulence. This was about 20 minutes ago from now. That's due to those storms rolling through there. So we'll shouldn't be as much of an issue when we're getting up there. I think the timing's actually working out pretty well for us. So you can see, the worst of the storms have moved through Cincinnati now. So we're going to be fighting it on the cruise to descent. So I might hold off on the descent a little bit, if at all possible, just so we're able to get down. So here's our release. Like we said, we're 5801. We're going up to Cincinnati Lunken Field. Alternative Indianapolis is planned. Going up to 360 today for our cruise altitude, and our reserve fuel in the FMS is up at 7,800 pounds, so pretty high. Already went over all the weather. NOTAM wise, I highlighted the ones that will affect us. We're probably going to be shooting ILS to 2-1 left. So there's an alternate missed approach. We'll keep that in mind when we're briefing that. And Fort Lauderdale here, centerline marking is obscured in real life on 10 left. That's the runway we're planning to take off on. Nothing else that should really affect us today. There's our route. You can see heading from Fort Lauderdale up to Cincinnati. So just up the eastern part of Florida, eastern Georgia, and Knoxville, straight up through eastern Kentucky and into Cincinnati. No MEL items today. Of course, it's a brand new to coastal aircraft. And taxi route for us. Let's take a look at that. That'd be something good to check out. So let's go let me pull up our Navigraph here. Navigraph charts. I think it will let me. My first time actually trying this since it's been updated. So let me unload that flight, and I should be able to import from SimBrief our flight we're doing here, Fort Lauderdale. Look at that. It's so easy. And here's our plate. Awesome. I'll hide this really quickly. Okay, so we are right down here in the southern part of the airport. We're actually going up to 10 left. That's what they're using right now. So we'll exit at Golf, left turn Lima, left turn Bravo 1 to 10 left. There's a hotspot 1 right there. Let's check that out really quickly. I believe that's just going to be because we're close to the runway, but we'll check it out. Yeah, taxiway Quebec at runway 10 left to 28 right. Okay, perfect. We'll be watching out for that. Runway conditions are dry. Abort criteria, it's going to be standard abort criteria. So below 80 knots, we'll reject takeoff for a variety of reasons. At or above 80 knots, we're only going to reject the takeoff if there's an engine fire, severe engine damage, inability of the aircraft to get or stay airborne, or wind shear, which I'm not anticipating wind shear today. It's a pretty nice day down here in Fort Lauderdale. Once we get up in the air, We're cleared as filed, so we're squawking 2200. And on the Frisbee 1 departure, initially a top altitude of 4,000, which is set. And off runway 10 left, climb on a heading of 096, that's set. And from there, intercept the 075 course to elbow. So we have elbow, then room at or above 4,000, YOLO, Lyric, Alonzo, Frisbee, Waypalm, Stymie. So that all matches up. Perfect. And then let me pull up our release again so we can look at this. All right. Make sure I can see it here too. Sorry. All right. So we got all the way to Stymie. So after Stymie, it's Wacko, then M-Jams. Stymie, Wacko, M-Jams, Atori, Sharks, Teufel, Wigvo, Volunteer, Arter, Cheddar, Tyos, Hardu, and then we have the top of descent heading into Lunken Fields. So it's after Hardu. It should be Jackie and then Falmouth VOR. Let's see if that's in here. Jackie, Falmouth. And then from there it's Zetla. And we're on the approach from there. Total distance, that's going to be 2-1 left. And total distance we're showing is up at 882 nautical miles. And the release was showing a total distance of 880. So that's all looking good. Perfect. All right, I'll close that out. Automation level on departure. This is an RNAV departure, so we'll have nav armed at 400 feet off the ground for us. And then we'll click VNAV at 1,000, flat protraction at 1,000. Required climb gradient. We meet those requirements. Engine failure path. So we're going straight out to 3,000 and back around here. Transition altitude is flight level 180. That's all we got for that. Let's go ahead and start up the APU. We got the right pump on, perfect. Here we go. Get the APU started up. Yeah, so we ended up having to delay the departure quite a bit just due to the weather. And it ended up working out well as far as the this flight also. Just because the storms were going to be pretty gnarly getting into Fort Lauderdale. We would have been getting there right about now when that squall's hitting. So it's a good thing we delayed it. I know most of you are probably not up anymore. That's completely understandable. But for anybody that is able to ride along live or later on, I'm glad you did. All right, while that's, there we go, got the APU up. Good, we'll turn it on. Go ahead and get the GPU disconnected. Go and get the air disconnected. AC off, GPU's coming off. Well, I gotta get some hydraulics on so we can close the stair. Hydraulically, there we go. Now it's up. All right, cool. And we got that going. APU air is now on. Get some air in the back. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and close the door here. Alright, checklist wise, let's go ahead and do our cockpit crew checklist. Flight recorder and aids, tests checked. AR's alignment is verified. FMS GPS checked, cross-checked. Emergency lights are armed. Cabin signs on. Windshield anti-ice switch on. Engine sync select is off. Stall warning tested. Air conditioning shut-off switch is in auto. Nope. Fire protection is tested. TRP tested. Fuel quantity at 26,300 pounds. We're just a little low. I think we're going to be fine. 26.4 was our plan. Altimeters 3016 cross-checked. Fuel shut-off levers off. And cabin pressure auto. Cockpit crew checklist completed. Alright, sounds like we got everybody on board here. Double check outside the aircraft. Looks good. We're clear. Alright, let's go ahead and run through and get our everything ready for the before start. Go get this onto system B. Alright. Before start check, parking brakes are set, EFB. Get that in flight mode. Got all the doors closed now. There we go. Pneumatic pressure is up at 42 psi. Engine ignition selector system B. Tank pumps all on. Anti-collision lights on. APU norm econ switch is in norm. Air conditioning supply switches off. Pneumatic crossfeed levers open. And thrust levers idle. Before start check complete. We're going to go ahead and start them up. Here we go. We'll go ahead and get our time started. Here we go. Alright, starting 2, then 1. And 2. Oil pressure. There's 2% max motoring. Fuel in. Gonna hold this down again. And light off. There's 40%. Alright. It's a good start. Temperatures are stabilizing. Let's start 1. I have a watch going on my side here. And 2. Oil pressure. And 1. 20%. That's our max motoring. There's light off. %. All right. Another good start. That's what we like to see here. All right, perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could please have your attention, I have some important safety information. In preparation for departure, be certain that your seat belt is straight up, your tray table
Check our electrical loads, make sure everything looks good. Yeah.
Regarding with safety, Regulations require compliance with all lighted signs, placards, and crew member instructions.
Good, close
Fasten
that.
your seatbelt. Place the metal fitting into the buckle and attach
This
the strap
off,
to
that's
assist
all
lowering and
good.
replacing tips. To release, lift the faceplate of the buckle.
Turn
Please
off
review
the
the safety
APU
instruction
actually.
card in the seat pocket in front of you. It explains the safety features of this aircraft, as well as the location and operation of the F-safety flotation devices. Your seat cushion serves as an approved flotation device. To remove it, pull up and take it with you to the nearest suitable exit. After exiting the aircraft, place your arms through the straps and mount the cushion to your chest. There are 8 emergency exits aboard the aircraft. 2-door exits at the front of the cabin.
Alright, have start check, engine ignition selector off, pitot and static heaters on captain, airfoil and engine anti-ice switches
If there is
off,
a loss of electrical power,
air conditioning
door
supply
locks will be displayed
switches
below the wing.
auto.
All exits are
Yep.
indicated by lighted exit
Door
signs
Q
located
light
below the wing.
is checked
In
off,
case of a loss
and
of power
hydraulic
or exit,
system.
oxygen mask will be released below the hull.
Go ahead and turn
To
these
start the
on.
flow of oxygen, reach up and pull the mask towards you.
Checked and
Pull and
got good
extend the
pressures
hydraulic tubing.
set.
Place the mask
Start
over your
check
nose and
complete.
mouth and slip the elastic band over your head.
Alright,
Pull the
watch
tab down
your
to lower the mask to top.
knees. We'll go ahead and do the
Plastic
flight control
bags should
check.
not
We'll
be
go ahead
used
and
to when oxygen is
or
flowing.
taxi,
Be sure to
please.
secure your mask
Set our
before takeoff
flaps. We're
and
looking at
landing.
flaps 9.
As a reminder, smoking is not permitted in any area of the aircraft at any time. Tampering, disabling, or destroying a lavatory smoke detector is prohibited by law. On behalf of the flight crew, welcome aboard. We hope you enjoy your flight. Thank you.
And one more. Go ahead and get that set. Alright. Taxiing check. APU air switch is off. TRP art is as required. We're doing flex at 50. Art is off. These speed bugs are set at 134, 138, 147. That's all good. Yep. Line instruments FGS is checked. FMS GPS checked. Go back to the legs page here though. There we go. Flight controls tested. Flap slat lever is 9 extended. Auto brake, auto spoiler is takeoff and armed. Middle line rotor trim, stab trim 00 and checked. Stab trim's good. Takeoff briefing. We already did it. It's performed and cabin report obtained. Taxi check complete. Alright, we're clear on the right. And clear on the left. Here we go. Get our taxiing lights on. A little heavier this time. I flew this plane empty to reposition it up here to Fort Lauderdale from Miami, and it would just get going without any issues. Alright, here I'll pull up our Navigraph chart. We can all be on the same page here. Our flight attendant said they are ready in the back. So we're going to take a left turn, or right turn here on the Golf. Be careful with the thrust in these close environments here. Don't blast and break windows. Thing definitely is requiring a little more thrust than normal to get going. It's heavy. There it goes. Okay, overcome that static friction. Now we're rolling. Alright, so here it's a left turn onto Echo. Looks clear left, clear right. Here we go. Or Lima actually, not Echo. And there'll be a left turn on Bravo up ahead. Looks clear to the right, clear to the left. Alright, once we get here out on Bravo, we'll go ahead and start getting ready for takeoff. Alright, let's go ahead and do the before takeoff check to the lights, please. Good. There's our thrust check. Excellent. My brakes caught just a minute there. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome aboard. We're just about to take off out of Fort Lauderdale up to Cincinnati. We're carrying the David Beckham's Inter Miami team up to Cincinnati's Lunken Field. So it's a Coastal Airways charter. That's 727 over there. That's cool. Alright. Go ahead and get all the lights on. We're the only ones out here at this time of night. So. And we're looking at 10 left, and there's Bravo down there. Perfect. Alright, before takeoff check, please. Takeoff runway 10 left, Bravo, entry point. Takeoff data is confirmed. Yep. 04, yep. And fuel balance checked. We have 26,000 for brake release. Engine ignition selector both and EOAP is checked. Before takeoff check complete. Clear on the left. Lauderdale traffic, Riptide 5801, MD-83, taking off runway 10 left, departing to the north for Lauderdale. Alright, first fix on the Frisbee 1 is elbow. That is verified off 10 left. Alright, I have controls. Here we go. And set thrust. Thrust set. Clamp. 80 knots. Check. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. You're up. It's 400. Nav track. There's 1,000. VNav. And climb. Flap 0. Take it down to 10 degrees, nose up. Alright, there's our left turn elbow. I love how this plane feels heavy on the controls. Kind of sluggish. There's flaps up. And just a little early. Autopilot on. $3,000 for 4,000. They turn down the wind noise a little bit. That's really loud. See if I can. There we go. That's a little better. Not see anybody on the TCAS. Get the range out just a bit. Good, I think we can keep climbing here. So let's see, we're going all the way up to 360, so I'm gonna punch that in. There's 360, get that. VNAV it up, here we go. Take a quick exterior view, here we go. Cool. Alright. Looking good. Alright, after takeoff checks. Brake temperatures checked, landing gear up, lights off, auto brake is off, speed brake lever retracted, flap slat lever is up, retracted. Let me get the dial a flap gauge all the way cleared out. There we go. It's important to not forget. Engine ignition selector off, center tank fuel pumps. Those on auto. Just turn them on. Altimeters 3016 for now. We'll get them to standard at 180 after takeoff check complete. It's like we said, we had 26,000 at takeoff, so you write that down if I can find my pen. There we go, I found a pen, that's good. We were right at our min fuel for takeoff, which is good. Definitely planning a short taxi. And that's what we had. Hey, there's 10,000. Turn this off. Got a pretty good view of the Florida swamps heading out of here. This is a beautiful day down in South Florida. That always helps. Well, if anyone of you that are tuning in live have any questions, feel free to type in the chat. Do my best to answer. I am monitoring it, even though I know it's middle of the morning, middle of the night / early morning. So, but happy to. First time I've streamed in quite a while. There's our stabilizer motion. I think that's expected with the increase in speed and getting back to our climb. So. Quite a ways to go. We're coming up on Alonzo. There we go. I'll take our track out a little more. I'm actually going to flip the weather on my side because we are going to have some weather to deal with coming up. So I'll turn the tilt down a bit. There we go. Now, I believe this radar does not work. I think it just gives ground returns, like ground-based radar returns. It doesn't actually simulate the aircraft radar in the air the way it would in a real plane. Because typically what you'd want to do, you want to turn this tilt down, especially once you're up at cruise, to where you're seeing a little bit of a ground return on the edge of the navigation display here. Like that lets you know that the radar is actually working. So, but I don't believe that's simulated quite yet in Microsoft Flight Simulator, so that's all right. And I think the way our ACARS is set up here right now for this aircraft, I think I have to wait. I know I was penalized for turning some of these lights off too early before, like including the wing ones, which if you look outside, you can see they flip down out of the wing, and you can actually tell a drag difference when they come out. It's kind of crazy. Look at that exhaust. It's a fun plane. But I'll retract them all the way and turn them off at 180. I think that's the way our ACARS is set up right now. So. But if any of you actual Mad Dog pilots are out there, former Mad Dog pilots are out there, and you see this, please comment on any of this stuff. I'd love to hear your reaction because I am not type rated in the Mad Dog, but I think it's an awesome aircraft, that's for sure. And I've really been enjoying flying it. Alright, we turn our logo light off above 18 here at Coastal, and then 2992 on the altimeters. 2992, it's cross-checked. Alright, excellent. Looking good. Alright, I do want to check out our pressurizations going here. Let's get a better view here. Looks like our cabin's climbing at just about 600 feet per minute. That's all right. And we're going up to our landing barrel. Actually raised some of the pressures going up. We'll put up to 263. We're up at about 3,000 feet in the cabin, and Delta P's up at 6.5. Differential pressures up there now. And Lake Okeechobee, rather impressive lake. So one of the other Major League Soccer teams that we here at Coastal are chartering is Orlando City. And so when we operate those charters, typically we'll have to fly up here, fly an empty plane, ferried up here to Orlando, just on the other side of Lake Okeechobee to pick up the team, and then we continue on to where the game is. So tonight, a little bit shorter of a ferry flight, just from Miami International. up to Fort Lauderdale and then on up to Lunken Field. This will actually be my first time into Lunken, so I'm flying blind in there. Only thing I've done is I set up a GSX profile for where we're parking, so that hopefully it will have everything set up for us when we're coming in. All right. Well, it's pretty quiet out here too. Here, I'll show you the live SimAware view for this part of the country. There's not many people out flying right now in the eastern United States for obvious reasons. I mean, it is 2:15 in the morning Central Time, so pretty early in the morning. But there we are. It's a little lagged here. We're already out over Lake Okeechobee, but looks like we're not expecting any air traffic control service along the way. But we're gonna get to go through a pretty gnarly line of weather. Honestly, man, that's bad. This is old though. Typically SimAware is a little behind with what's actually going on. Let's check out the National Weather Service's radar. And you can see, yeah, I'd say by the time we get up to Knoxville, we're probably going to be dealing with some of these storms for sure. But thankfully, Cincinnati's in the clear for our landing, so that's the important thing for now. Well, another exciting part of the Coastal Airways Charter Department is the National Hockey League, NHL charters. So we also operate charter flights for the Florida Panthers, who are in the hunt for the NHL playoffs. They're really close. Last I checked, they're close to a wildcard spot. We'll check out the standings here in just a minute, just to get the latest updates on our sports teams that we partner with to virtually, of course. We virtually are partnered with to transport to these games. It's all part of the virtual airline experience here at Coastal Airways. But once we get up to cruise at 360, we'll check that out just to make sure our fuel situation's looking good, and that it looks like the aircraft's doing okay at that altitude. Let's check this really quickly. It looks like the SAT outside is negative 39, so there's negative 40. That's good. So we're technically out of, don't have to worry about going through these clouds up here and icing. So that's good. Technically out of icing conditions now. Would not be surprised if we encounter some on the way back down. Well, I certainly would recommend, if any of y'all haven't checked it out yet, there was a nice article today in Navigraph about the differences between the Leonardo's, the MD-82, the MD-83, and the MD-88. I found it to be a very interesting article. Talks about one of the big differences you'll see here in the MD-83 compared to the MD-82 is you have this auxiliary tank fuel quantity indicator here, which is neat. And also just the extended range of the MD-83. And that's going to come in handy for us here at Coastal. We do, doing the sports teams charters, we go out to the western side of the continent quite a bit, and being in the pretty far on the southeast corner of the United States, it adds up pretty quickly mileage-wise. So it'll be nice to have that extra range for us, especially when the weather is looking a little squirrely, like it does sometimes. There's a 35 for 36. Make sure that altitude's armed. You always got to cross-check that. This plane will not automatically capture that all the time. You pull the knob out. I'm sure if y'all have tried to fly this aircraft, you probably experienced that at some point. It's exciting. But overall, a very fun aircraft to fly. I love it. Alright, looks like we're leveling off now. At our cruise. It's a nice smooth level off. Wow, Autopilot's doing a great job. Alright, fuel wise here at top of climb, looks like we're at 22,350. Let's see what we were showing here in the release and the EFB. I believe we can pull it up in this EFB. If I can hold this button down long enough, there it goes. Now it's turning on. Alright, let's check it out. Documents. Nope. I think it's electronic. Yeah, there we go. Alright, here's our release. Let's see here. Top of climb, we were projecting to have 21.8. And we're at 22,250. So about 500 pounds extra, that's alright. Set this onto the cruise thrust there. There we go. I need to close the art. Forgot to do that. Put it back to auto since we're done with our flex takeoff. Yeah, there are definitely a few items that, and I'm still pretty new to this aircraft, so like for example, that art thing, I missed it on my flow, and it's not really covered on the checklist either. So there are a few items like that that are easy to miss in this aircraft. So you just gotta, make sure you're scanning the cockpit. There are a lot of switches in this thing, and it's very easy to miss something. But a lot of times, it's something serious, it'll let you know about it, thankfully. But alright, next fix, we're looking at stymie. See if, yeah, stymie's here on the release. So it's stymie. We're planning to have 21,300 pounds of fuel. And we're, what, 27 miles out from stymie. Projection will have 21.9, so yeah, we're looking at about 600 pounds heavy. So that's alright. Landing weight wise, so we're showing 12,800 pounds of fuel projected at landing. Our zero fuel weight was 102.4, so that's what, 115.2 for our landing weight projected. So we'll keep an eye on that, but it's within limits. We're right up here at the edge of this cloud layer. Alright, let's check the pressurization, check some of our electrics loads, make sure everything's looking good there. Battery's doing what it should, it's not drawing anything. And we're looking good on the T-gens. Pressurization is good, we're holding steady. Differential pressure is good in cabin altitude. We're at about, we're nice and high at 7,600 feet. Very cool. All right, we're underway. All right, well, while we're up here, I think this would be a good time to check out kind of what's going on with some of our sports teams that we are taking to their various events that are out of town. Pull up stuff here for it. So we'll start with the team we're actually transporting now. We're actually taking Miami up to Cincinnati. And here, I'll pull it up on the screen for you all. All right, so here are the current standings in Major League Soccer. It's early in the season. They've only played a handful of games up to this point. You can see games played, we're at 5. So we're going into week 6 now. And Cincinnati's had a phenomenal start to the season. You can see 3 wins, 0 losses, and 2 ties. I actually got to see them play in person last week, and I do have to say they have a pretty impressive defense this year. They've really turned the corner when it comes to just the way they perform as a team. And I think their forward who scored the goal last week against Nashville SC, Brendan Vasquez, he's projected to be up in the U.S. men's national team soon. But then also I think he has some European clubs that are vying to pull him off to Europe here soon. So I don't know how that's going to affect Cincinnati. They're going to get some good money. But they still have Brenner and I believe it's Acosta is the other forward that Cincinnati has that's really good. So they're going to make it to where Miami is going to have their hands full tomorrow. Miami, on the other hand, you can see they had a hot start to the season. They're now sitting down just on the playoff bubble line here. Like I said, we're still early in the season, so you can see the standings are still really tight. So it's like New England's in the lead right now, 12 points. And you get 3 points for a win. So, I mean, you have teams outside the playoff bubble that are only 2 wins out from tying up with them. But here's the thing. Miami has not won a game away from home yet. They're 0-2-0. So this is going to be a big test for them tomorrow in Cincinnati. Cincinnati has an outstanding fan base. And it's going to be an intimidating stadium, I think. It's a good thing the weather went through tonight so that they can have a really good weather for their game tomorrow for sure. Yeah, current power rankings, these don't really mean much, as you know, but for those of you that do follow sports. But LAFC, they won the MLS Cup last year. They've spent tons of money. Will Ferrell's one of the owners of the team. They're still projected as a top of the league right now. St. Louis SC, what a surprise this team has been. It's their first year in Major League Soccer, and they are undefeated. And they've been scoring multiple goals in a game, like 3 or 4 goals in a game, which is absolutely incredible. Like Matt Doyle says here in his tweet, I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. It's pretty incredible. Let's see if we can see what, like this goal here. Look at this, these guys. Boom. So this is a good example of some of the things that have happened for St. Louis SC so far. They've been getting so many gifts from other teams' defenses. I mean, it's been absolutely incredible. But they convert, and then they still score goals, even when it's not a gift. But look, that defender passes it right to this Klaus guy. But he put it away. And that was against Real Salt Lake last week. So they were out in St. Louis was out in Salt Lake City. But great start for St. Louis SC. You can see here they are top of the entire league right now. 5 wins, 0 losses, 0 ties, sitting with 15 points. So pretty impressive for them. Let's keep going down the power rankings here. I think it's kind of a fun thing to look at. Except there we go. Oops, this is back to players. We don't want to look at players right now. We want to look at the team power rankings. Yes, that's where we were. Yeah, Cincinnati. So see, like we were talking about just a little while ago, Cincinnati is tearing it up earlier in the year. I mean, this was a team that was horrible their first few years in Major League Soccer. And they were given what's called the proverbial wooden spoon, which basically, if you're the worst team in the league, you get the wooden spoon. And they kept getting it. But, wow, look, the project right now at number 3 in the power rankings. Seattle Sounders at 4. Wondering how far down we're going to have to go before we get to Miami, the team that is virtually behind us here on the other side of this flight deck door. Seattle, they're always a pretty good team. I feel like they always get a little bit of benefit of the doubt. They had a really good start to their franchise, and I'd say the media is always quite favorable towards Seattle Sounders, but they're legit. New England Revolution, they've had a solid start. They're top of the Eastern Conference right now. Bruce Arena is their coach. Those of you that have followed American soccer for the last few decades know that Bruce Arena is a legend in the game in the U.S. He was coach of the U.S. men's national team when they went to the quarterfinals in the World Cup in 2006 in Germany. And then he was also instrumental in many successful seasons. DC United back in the day, and also LA Galaxy coaching Landon Donovan, and even David Beckham when he came to Major League Soccer. And now, obviously, he's back as an owner, bringing Inter Miami to the league. And even apparently trying to coax international soccer superstar Leo Messi to Miami. We'll see if that happens. I'd be surprised, but I've even heard crazy talk like multiple teams in the MLS are going to chip in money to try to get Leo Messi to come to the team, but I don't know. We'll see. All right, next up, Atlanta United. Wow, Atlanta United's been a fun team to watch. You can see right here, they lost 6-1 at Columbus last week, but they had a lot of guys out on international duty. It was an international break, so a lot of guys playing for their national teams, including Thiago Almada. Probably I believe he did get Player of the Month for March in the league. He's scored so many incredible goals. See if maybe we can catch a few of those later. I think I'm allowed to show very short clips here on the YouTube channel. Philadelphia Union, they've been slowly dropping down the standings. They actually lost to Orlando last week. That was our charter we flew last week for Major League Soccer. It was Orlando up to Philly. And let me tell you, that Orlando City side was quite thrilled on the ride back home, even though it was very late at night. But the Union are kind of falling down the power rankings and tables right now, but I think they'll be back. Jim Curtin's a good coach. He always gets his team competing. There's Orlando City, our other team we fly for out here out of Florida, other local team. And they're playing Nashville this week. They've had a decent start. There's the Crew, Nashville SC. Nashville SC, trouble scoring goals. Great defense, can't score a goal to save their lives. FC Dallas, look at this. We're dropping way down just to try to get to Miami. I could talk about each of these teams, but I do not know how interested in soccer those of you that watch this are. But if y'all want to talk soccer, I love soccer. I'll talk soccer all day. Soccer and airplanes. And hockey. I love hockey too, but Miami is all the way down at number 23. So you can see, and they dropped 5 points last week because they lost to Chicago. And Chicago they've struggled the last few seasons. I feel like if you lose to Chicago right now, until the media is given a little more respect, they're going to drop you way down the power rankings. So the Herons, that's kind of their nickname. You can see in the logo, those little Herons there, fought back after going down early, but Kai Kamara's late goal doomed them in the end. That's 3 straight losses after 2 big wins to start the season. That's kind of been the story of Inter Miami up to this point. They had 2 great wins to start the season. Phil Neville's their head coach, the former Manchester United player, and I guess a teammate of David Beckham at Manchester United also. So they had a really fast start and then just kind of fell off a bit. But we'll see. I mean, this is going to be a big test for them. I'm personally rooting for Inter Miami. I'll be upfront with you all. I'm a Nashville SC fan, so anything to get Cincinnati stopped on this roll they're on, it would be a good thing. They embarrassed Nashville last week. Let's see who's at the very bottom of the power rankings. I'm just curious. Ooh, Real Salt Lake down at 27. Sorry, Jason. I don't know if you care, but Colorado. There's Colorado down at 29. And all they say here is Kevin Cabral. What an excellent moment for a guy that's had a lot of criticism. Okay. Well, it looks like we have another waypoint here. Let's do a quick fuel check. It looks like I need to refresh our looks like I need to refresh our Fly Live. That's what it's called. Yeah, Fly Live. See if I can get it to refresh. I'll just try to restart it, I think. Look, it's done this before. So I'm going to restart Fly Live. It looked like it was stuck. Still thought we were on the ground back in Fort Lauderdale, which we are definitely not. We're cruising along at flight level 360. Alright. Let's try this again here. Boom. Okay, that's looking good now. Alright, I'm going to bring it back up on the screen. There we go. So now it should be accurate. We still have 617 nautical miles to go. That sounds right. Ground speed's at 402. We have a little bit of a headwind. Alright, so we have, what, 20,900 pounds, and we just passed, what did we just pass? MJAMS. Say 20.9, and we're still about 600 pounds heavy still, which is good. Looks like we're up already at the panhandle of Florida. So we should be flying pretty much right over Jacksonville here soon. Let's check it out on the Navigraph charts. There we go. I should probably leave that up just so y'all have a better idea where we are. Yeah, so we're just to the west of Daytona Beach, basically. There's Ormond Beach. So, yeah, Jackson. We still have a little ways to go to Jacksonville. It's right before Sharks, so cool. Yeah, that's where we are. I'll leave this over here while we talk about some more of the actually have this be day mode. Yeah, let's do day mode. There we go. I actually need high IFR. So, there we go. Alright, that'll give you a better idea of where we are in the there's our world map, or you can do the VFR map, which is nice. And IFR high. We'll keep it on that. But a lot of exciting things going on in Major League Soccer. I do want to see, let's see if I can find one of Thiago Almada's goals, if they have a quick clip of those. Man, he has been absolutely tearing it up out here. Let's see how many goals he has right now. So he's from Argentina. He won the World Cup with the Argentinian national team. Pretty small guy, but he's good. Like, he's 5'7", 139 pounds. You know, he's not carrying any extra weight around. I mean, he's 139 pounds of pure skill is what he is. So on the attack right now, look, he scored 3 goals outside the box, 2 on direct free kicks. So 4 goals. And they have been incredible goals. And you can see he was the MLS Player of the Month. 4 goals, 4 assists, and 4 games played. And he scored a few goals where it was just a free kick, upper corner of the net. This guy, if he keeps this up, he's not going to be playing in Major League Soccer very long at all. He's going to be moving on to bigger and better things in no time. I mean, he is just an absolutely incredible player. You see some of his clips here. Just like, for example, their first game, Atlanta was losing, and like going into stoppage time, just a few minutes left in the game, right? And this Thiago Almada guy scores 2 of these goals, just in the upper corner of the net like that, and they ended up winning the game. I mean, he's just an incredible player. Really exciting to watch. And I'm excited. They're coming to Nashville in a few weeks, and that game is going to be electric. The stadium is going to be rocking. Cannot wait for it. And I certainly hope Thiago Almada will still be playing, just so I can see him in person before he continues on to Europe. But that's kind of the overview of what's going on in Major League Soccer up to this point. So all the teams are playing today, April 1st, the next few hours. I guess it's almost 3 a.m. here, so about 15 hours we have first kickoff, Atlanta and New York. And then Cincinnati, Miami is one of the first games tomorrow. It's going to be at TQL Stadium in downtown Cincinnati, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Columbus and Salt Lake, Los Angeles, Seattle, that'll be a good one. That's actually on Fox, nationally broadcast, looks like on Fox. New England and New York City FC, Orlando and Nashville, Philly and Kansas City, Toronto, Charlotte. And let's see, I just realized I didn't have this up. I'm sorry. I was talking about all that stuff. I wasn't even showing it. Toronto and Charlotte, Chicago and DC, Dallas, Portland, St. Louis, Minnesota. Be curious to see if St. Louis can keep their winning streak alive. So you have the top team on the power rankings, LAFC, playing Colorado, the bottom team. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of parity in MLS. So just like in the NHL, Colorado just might pull off that upset. We'll have to see. Houston, San Jose, and Vancouver, Montreal, a good Canadian matchup. And are there any midweek games? Looks like it's just going to be the U.S. Open Cup, so that's going to be moving on into including Major League Soccer teams here soon, which is fun. And also looks like CONCACAF Champions League for the champions in the North American League. So they get to play there, I believe, in the semifinals now? Maybe it's the quarterfinals. Let's see if it'll say here. But this team here, Violet, huge upset against Austin FC, and they're actually from Haiti, this Violet team. So they'll be going up against the Mexican side, Leon, on Wednesday, looks like. I think that's right. Let's see. Or Tuesday, actually. I think Tuesday's the 4th. But the U.S. Open Cup, like, that's a cool tournament. Basically, you could get together a team with your buddies and you pay all the fees and do everything official. You could enter that tournament in the early rounds. But, I mean, good luck. You're going to play some pro sides, but it's kind of cool. Looks like the other teams that are facing off in CONCACAF Champions League, LAFC and Vancouver. So you can see LAFC is definitely the team to beat right now. There were a few games tonight of note. I actually didn't see who won these. This is MLS Next Pro, so these are kind of the development teams for a lot of the MLS sides. And Huntsville lost to Orlando City, okay. And then Orlando FC Cincinnati, they beat Toronto FC 4-2. Okay, cool. Well, that's all for the MLS side. Let's check out the NHL side and see what's been going on in the NHL. So our team that we've been transporting all around the country for the last few months. One of our pilots in particular, our owner, Jason, has flown 98% of those flights. I flew a grand total of 4 of the others, so might even be 99% he's flown. But he has basically flown an entire NHL schedule, which is pretty crazy, but cool. But it has come to this point now where the Florida Panthers are right on the bubble. So you can see here, 76 games played, they're at 83 points. So the Pittsburgh Penguins hopped up into that last wildcard spot the other night when they beat the Nashville Predators. I believe it was 2-0. So they're giving Florida a run for their money. Florida has obviously been playing pretty well of late, but they have a big game coming up against Columbus Blue Jackets tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. So a lot going on in Ohio for our teams that we fly. I'll be down in Cincinnati with the soccer team from Miami, and Jason has been up with the hockey team up in the middle of the state now. I think they flew from Montreal down to Columbus, and we'll see if the Panthers can keep their playoff dreams alive with only a handful of games remaining. And what that means for us, if they make it, well, we get to have a little bit more charter action heading into late April and maybe even May. So that'd be fun. Well, that's the update on the sports teams. It looks like we're almost out of Florida. It's the age-old trick to keep yourself awake up here in a transport category aircraft. You talk to your crewmates. So we got an aircraft crossing just below us there. Looks like they're 8,000 feet below us. Yeah, they're pretty low. Then they must be going into Jacksonville or something. That's a cool picture. Well, this aircraft is so new that I have not even set up all of the quick viewpoints on back in the cabin. So we'll go take a quick tour of the cabin here once we pass Sharks just outside of Jacksonville, Florida. I'm actually gonna. Winds up here. Looks like we still have a little bit of a quartering left to right headwind, 79 knots. We're at 19,700 pounds of fuel here at Sharks. So we're up at 700 pounds heavy. 700 extra. That projected landing weight might even increase a little bit depending on how we do here. Alright, let's head to the back of the aircraft for a little bit. We'll get back here in the jump seat mode. And here we go. You can see this is a beautiful view of the cockpit. It's a really nice layout. Here's our jump seat. You can see you can bring the jump seat out if you wanted to. So it's nice. Have that option. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's head out into the cabin. Let's make some new... There's the galley area here. You can see it. So some Delta bends here. I'm going to create this as a quick point. Looks like my computer's having some issues. It's getting really jittery. Hope it doesn't crash on us here. I left it running for a long. It's probably been on for running Flight Sim and the Mad Dog for like 7 hours now. So I don't know. It might be getting angry. But we'll keep walking back. Let's see if I can get us some good views over the wing that we can use on future flights. I like to get a little bit behind the wing so we can still see the scenery down below, but also it's cool to get to see the flaps and such. So I think we'll go into this seat here. Alright. There we go, that's a cool one. Alright, we'll head to the other side. It's a nice view. And all the way to the back. Here we go. The old JTAD engines there. I didn't even check to see if the bathrooms are they're not. There we go. Let's see if the bathrooms are modeled. Nope, they are not. You would fall all the way to the ground if you went to the bathroom, so don't go there. Alright, go back up to the cockpit. Well, I'm gonna step away for just a minute and get a something to drink. So I will be right back. I'll leave you with a view out the nose, maybe even check out one of our views we just got there. You can see the Florida coast. I guess now it's St. Simon's Island in Georgia. Alright, be right back. Alright, I'm back. See our flight path, it's going to take us all the way up. We're going to be heading east of Atlanta. I think we'll be pretty close to Augusta, yeah. I don't think we'll be close enough to get a peek at the Augusta National and the Masters tournament coming up this week. Yeah, not really sure what's causing the hiccups here with the sound and stuff. I'll try to see if I can Diagnose it a little bit here. Yeah, it looks like it's CPU bottleneck. Well, it seems to have smoothed out a little bit for right now. Yeah, I have to. I think I've just had this computer running for way too long. And it's getting a little tired. All right. There's the next fix. 3,700 pounds. Check it in just a minute. All right, so coming up on Wigvo. Wigvo planning to have 17,500 pounds of fuel, so we're gonna be definitely gonna be over that, which is good. Still not leaking fuel, which is good. That's one of the reasons we check. I definitely apologize for the quality of this stream. It's I don't know. I think I was just running my computer for too long. I'm actually contemplating stopping the stream. I'll be honest, just so that I can fly this flight and it's smooth. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all being here for the stream. I think I'm gonna cut it off because I don't. I'm not sure my computer is up to the task tonight. So thanks for tuning in. I will see you all on a future flight. For now, VRF Simmers signing off. Good night.